right, everyone. Happy Friday. I'm here with John Berger, a longtime friend of TV. John, would you like to introduce yourself a little bit?
Hi, everybody. Hi, Shylee. Great to be here today and representing Drum Talk TV. Dan Schinder and I go back with his wonderful program. I live in Bergen County, New Jersey, right outside Manhattan. I'm a freelance drummer and percussionist. Been at this for a long, long time, and I consider myself a multilinguist in that I play many, many styles of music. My career has kind of been centered for a long time around playing Broadway shows, but I'm classically trained. From time to time, I play with symphony orchestras. I play rock. I play reggae. I play jazz and original music. I do a quite fair amount of teaching right now. For the month of July, I'm involved with a really nice local band camp, the students middle school through high school, and I just spend the month just exposing them to as much music and techniques of these languages, learning these many musical languages that I've learned. Just passing that on. That's always how I look at it when I teach, and yeah, my calendar can look very, very different from week to week, month to month. Just for example, I played with the symphony orchestra playing the great piece Carmina Burana, playing with the orchestra. I've worked with various jazz artists and cabaret artists in New York City. For a while, I've been working with a singer named Debbie Wildman from the United Kingdom, who does a wonderful tribute to Judy Garland, the iconic singer who was originally Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. And so we're doing a record in August. And speaking of records, my talented daughter, Shylee Berger, has had a record out now for a year. It's on all the streaming platforms. I'm the drummer on that, and really, really proud of her. And it's great, great, great music. And that's really special to me because, being able to make music with my own blood and see her blossom as, an incredible artist, and then support her, it's just been really, really wonderful. Her name is Shylee, Kirrielee, Shylee Berger. The record's called Stories, Lies, Allegories, and Fables. And like I said, it's on all the streaming platforms. And also, this is my studio here. I do some teaching. I also record at home. An old friend in Japan, who's a progressive rock artist and composer, and I'm on many, many tracks. He has a series called Symbolic Encounters, and most recently we did a series, a tribute to the progressive band Gong. So I played on a lot of tracks. So it's great. In my basement, I record the tracks for him and fly him to Tokyo, and it's the amazing thing about technology. So that's kind of an overview of what I do, and happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much. That is very impressive track record you've got. I told you earlier that your daughter's album sounds like something right up my alley, so I'm excited to go check it out after this. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for joining us, and now we've got an icebreaker.
Now it's time for
Alrighty, so I'm going to ask you an icebreaker, I think. So I checked out I don't know if just you're little here, but saw you in a lot of music with Broadway and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a show that you particularly love? In it involved in a way like that?
You're breaking up a little bit. You said a particular show that I love, and I missed the last part. Could you say that again?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Techno. issues. I was asking about if you have a Broadway musical that you've been a part of or that you've seen that you particularly love.
Yeah, I think one that's really special to me is the show Lin Manuel wrote called In the Heights, and I started to work on the show as a sub drummer early on in the very beginning when it was off Broadway through the end of Broadway. It's an Afro-Cuban hip hop based show, and just amazing music, and I really I learned so much. I'd spoken that language of Afro-Cuban music pretty well. Not an expert, but so many masterful musicians in the band that I really learned from, and just a really special show. I don't mean to downplay Broadway, but a lot of times the styles of music let's say they're a little watered down sometimes. That show was so authentic, and they really wanted authenticity. Like when there was rock elements, hip hop elements, Afro-Cuban, they wanted to really go for it. So, it really kind of changed my life in a lot of ways because I had to really do a deep immersion in the styles of music to really, express myself. So that is probably one really special one to me, I would say. Yeah.
That's really exciting. That is a good show. I've never actually seen it, but I've heard some of the music and it's fantastic. So that's great to hear. I think that my favorite that I've seen is Chicago, probably. I watched it on Broadway in New York last November, and I really loved it. It's a great show with a great soundtrack. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's
yeah.
wonderful. Yeah.
Cool. It's time for This Day in Music History. Why not the whole week? Because we'd be here forever.
All right. Oh, all right. Music. This Day in Music. So in 2013, Pink broke 2 records at the Rod Laver Arena in Melbourne, Australia, while on her The Truth About Love tour. She became the artist who had performed the most shows at the venue, a total of 18 sold-out shows. She was also the first artist to sell more than 250,000 tickets at the venue. It's a pretty big feat. She's a really incredible artist and musician. And her performances I've seen online, she's incredible. She belts while doing aerial tricks, and it's insane to watch, to be honest.
Absolutely. In 2001, Kiss added another item to their merchandise offerings, a Kiss casket. The coffin featured the faces of the 4 founding members, the Kiss logo, and the words "Kiss Forever." Pantera guitarist Dimebag Darrell was buried in one after he was killed on stage in 2004. Wow, that's wild.
That is pretty crazy. The Beastie Boys went #1 on the UK album chart with Hello Nasty. It was only the second rap album to make #1 on the UK, the first being an album from the Wu-Tang Clan. I think that's pretty crazy that it was so late in the 90s. I think the 90s was a pretty quintessential rap era, so I'm surprised it took until 98 to get 2 rap albums on #1 in the UK.
1992, Bobby Brown and Whitney Houston got married at their New Jersey estate. She wore a $40,000 Mark Bauer gown. Guests to the wedding included Stevie Wonder, Gloria Estefan, and Natalie Cole, Patti LaBelle, and Freddie Jackson.
Pretty star-studded wedding guests, I guess. So, 1982, Willie Nelson was at #1 on the country album chart with Always on My Mind, which was #1 country of the year, 53 weeks. That is nearly 5 years. So between 1982 and 1987, he was at the top or on the charts.
Incredible. 1980, Billy Joel held the top position of both the U.S. album and singles chart. His album Glass Houses had the first and biggest number one hit, It's Still Rock and Roll to Me. Mm-hmm.
And in 1978, Def Leppard made their live debut at Westfield School in Sheffield, England, in front of 150 students. Can you imagine being one of those 150 students and being like, who the heck are these guys? And then a few years later, it's Def Leppard, and you got to see them for the first time live.
That's amazing. I'm sure whoever was there is really cherishing those moments. 1968, the Beatles record "Cry Baby Cry" and "Helter Skelter" at Abbey. They recorded "Cry Baby Cry" and "Helter Skelter" at Abbey Road Studios. One take of "Helter Skelter" lasted 27 minutes, 11 seconds, the longest Beatles record ever. Wow, I know that song well. I didn't realize it was that long. That's amazing. It's almost 30 minutes.
I think it was. I think that was just one take of it. I think they cut it for the final product, but they took a recording that was almost a half an hour long, which is incredible. Very tiring, I'm sure.
Yes.
And now we're going to go all the way back to 1953. Truck driver Elvis Presley made his first ever recording when he paid $3.98 at the Memphis Recording Service to sing two songs, My Happiness and That's When Your Heartaches Begin. The vanity disc was reportedly a gift for his mother. The record would surface 37 years later as part of an RCA compilation called Elvis, The Great Performances. So back when he was still just kind of a nobody driving trucks, he made a recording and it came out 37 years later. That's insane.
And he paid $3.98. I was just thinking, there's a mostly jazz-oriented recording studio near me that charges $400 a day, which is considered a really good rate. So when you think about, how things cost over time, it's kind of mind-blowing,
Yeah, that is crazy. All right, now
Drum Talk TV. Yeah.
All right. Sign up for the Drum Talk TV Brilliance Referral Program. And here is Dan to explain it.
Hey everybody, Dan here from Drum Talk TV and Drum Talk TV Brilliance. Hey, how would you like to make bank by being a premium member of Drum Talk TV Brilliance? It's easy. Like, you're a music fan, right? That's why you joined. How many other music fans do you know, right? So what if they got a discount for joining if you referred them and you got $10 for each one you referred? I mean, you'd pretty much have to be a doofus like this to miss out on something like that, right? Because being fellow music fans, we all know fellow music fans. So go ahead, invite your friends with your own code. We'll tell you how in a minute. But that way you can enjoy things like our live stream concerts, our fan Q&As with big artists, producers, and record executives, our twice-a-month game shows, and other fun things in Drum Talk TV Brilliance with your friends while giving them a discounted invitation, and you make bank. So there you go. So follow the link in this post. If you're not already a premium member, become a premium member. And if you are a premium member, you'll get an email real soon to show how to get your own invite code where you can tell two friends, and they'll tell two friends. Tell 20 friends. That's $200. Wait, what? You'd have to be like this to miss out on that. You're not like that, are you? Invite your friends. Let's have some fun together. Healthy escapism away from the nonsense and the drama and the craziness online on social. Join us, Drum Talk TV Brilliance. We're here for the fun of it. Oh, and at any time, you can become a premium member, refer your friends, and make some bank.
We also still have 3 challenges going on this month, and third place winners can win music store gift certificates worth up to $125 US and a chance to be interviewed on Drum Talk TV. Here's a video about the Steve Gadd Tribute Drumming Challenge.
The Steve Gadd Tribute Drumming Challenge submissions window has been extended to July 31st, 11:59 p.m. Pacific US time. Play along to tracks featuring the man who's played with Al Di Meola, Simon and Garfunkel, Eric Clapton, Peter Gabriel, Steely Dan, and more. First, second, and third place winners can win a gift certificate to their favorite music store, as well as a free Drum Talk TV shirt, picked from 36 designs, and only shipping in the US. First place will have the chance to be interviewed live on Drum Talk TV. The tracks you play along to must be the officially released versions. They will not get muted or pulled on our platform. Record your videos horizontally. Once done, submit in our membership site, which has a free tier and a premium tier. Free members can send in 2 videos, premium members can send however many they want. Your videos will be reviewed and graded on accuracy, fan praise, and sound. For the fan praise factor, invite people to comment vote under each video they like. The judging criteria is explained further on the submissions page. Go to drumtalktvbrilliance.com and join the fun!
We also have the Joey Jordison tribute drumming challenge going on. Play along to tracks featuring him. Could be Slipknot, could be another band, as long as he's on the track. And here's a video about that.
Drum Talk TV Brilliance presents the Joey Jordison Tribute Drumming Challenge, running until July 31st, 2025, 11:59 p.m. Pacific US time. Play along to tracks featuring the legendary Slipknot drummer, whether they be from that band, Scar the Martyr, Murder Dolls, many possibilities. First, second, and third place winners can win a gift certificate to their favorite music store, as well as a free Drum Talk TV shirt. Shirts only ship in the US. And first place will have the chance to be interviewed live on Drum Talk TV. The tracks you play along to must be the officially released versions. They will not get muted or pulled from a platform. Record your videos horizontally. Once done, submit in our membership site, which has a free tier and a premium tier. Free members can send in 2 videos, premium members can send in however many they want. Your videos will be reviewed and graded on accuracy, fan praise, and sound. For the fan praise factor, invite people to comment the word vote under each video they like. The judging criteria is explained further on the submissions page. Go to drumtalktvbrilliance.com and join the fun!
And this other challenge is not just for drummers. It can involve other instruments as long as you pretend it's a motor and play an ostinato. Here's a video with some examples.
Through July 31st, 11:59 p.m. Pacific US time, join the Started Up Challenge at drumtalktvbrilliance.com for a chance to win prizes. This is not just for drummers. Pretend you're starting a motor and then play some sort of ostinato on your instrument. If you submit a video like this, or like this, you could win a first, second, or third place gift certificate to a favorite music store, as well as a free Drum Talk TV shirt, only shipping in the US. First place can also have a Drum Talk TV interview. Judging criteria will be based on the following: 50% creativity, 30% playing skills, and 20% fan praise. Invite people to comment the word vote under your video. To get in on the challenge, you can be a free member of Drum Talk TV Brilliance and submit up to 2 videos, or become a premium member and submit as many as you'd like. So join the fun and show us what you got!
The next Drum Talk TV Brilliance game show is Tuesday, July 22nd, 6 p.m. Pacific time, which is 9 p.m. Eastern time, continuing the All-American Music Artist theme. It'll be a game of majority rules where you guess which answer the majority of players present will choose. Here's a video explaining, and you can win prizes.
A music-themed game show, Tuesday, July 22nd at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. This isn't trivia. In fact, you don't need to know anything. It's truly a guessing game. The idea is to get in the majority, read the room, and guess which answer everyone else would pick. The quickest one in the majority gets the most points.
You work hard, so come have some fun.
How would you like a chance to spin the prize wheel to win prizes in music, electronics, fashion, health and beauty, and more by playing a music-themed game show?
And even a chance to be a guest VJ on Drum Talk TV.
This is Tuesday, July 22nd at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern U.S. times. We're going to cover music from blues, country, funk, hip-hop, jazz, metal, prog, punk, R&B, rap, rock, and soul.
All are welcome. No purchase necessary. To play for a chance to win prizes, RSVP via the link in the post and come take a fun break.
Show up and turn it up and play for a chance to win.
Definitely come join us at that game show. All right, this last week has been a busy one for Yes Shift. Dan and Steven celebrated 4 years of their prog rock podcast last week. And this week, Steven broadcasted 3 vlogs where he reviewed a show involving Travis Larson and Project, a show at the Baked Potato involving Stickmen, and his vinyl copy of Yes's debut album. Dan and Steven then interviewed guitarist Gordon Giltrap yesterday about his EP Starfield and his past collaborations with Yes keyboardists Rick Wakeman and Oliver Wakeman. Tomorrow will be an interview at noon Pacific with Craig Mayer of Exo X Xeno, a project that involves a few Yes members. And on Wednesday, the 23rd at noon Pacific, Dan and Steven will talk about Yes's second album, Time and a Word.
Meanwhile, Dan went live with Jeff Berlin on Wednesday in another episode of Rhythm and Lows, where they talk about bassist drummer duos, and they talk about the funky clip on the one. Thursday, July 24th, noon Pacific time, Dan will go live with Lou Calderola on another episode of Under the Influence, where they talk about musical influences. And on Friday, July 25th, 1:30 p.m. after the next news report, he'll go live with Dr. Janice Ying on another episode of Drummer Injury Talk. This is, I have to say, as someone playing for many decades, drumming injury, this is stuff I highly recommend all drummers, young and old, pay attention to. It's very important to maintain our bodies and make sure we don't hurt ourselves, in touring and playing. It's very important stuff. So it's I think it's amazing that Dan has been doing this regularly. Yeah.
And now a moment to acknowledge those who have passed.
All right. Now we're moving into passings. So this week, David Caff, British actor and musician known for playing a keyboardist in This Is Spinal Tap, has passed away. According to Billboard, his bandmates in metal group Mutual of Alameda's Wild Kingdom announced on the news on Facebook on Sunday, July 13th. In their statement, the band shared, quote, "David always had a kind word and a quick wit that would slay you where you stand. Then he'd make you smile while doing it. R.I.P. dear brother." He was 79 years old.
Oh, this is really sad. I just saw there was a reissue of the movie last weekend that I saw, and he was always my favorite character. When the bass player quits and they ask if he can play it, he says, "Yes, I have 2 hands." He hit, yeah. Wow. Rest in peace, sir. Also, on July 13th, founding Straub's member David Cousins passed away at age 85 at the Pilgrim's Hospice in Canterbury. Musicians who've worked with him have since been posting memories of him, and Rick Wakeman even shared a clip of him and Dave performing A Glimpse of Heaven at Trading Boundaries last year.
Wow, very sad indeed. Also this week, Connie Francis, pop star of the late 1950s and 1960s, passed away on Wednesday at the age of 87. The New York Times reported that her publicist shared this news this week, but did not specify where she died or cite a cause. She was admitted to a hospital 2 weeks ago for major pelvic pain after suffering a fracture. Francis will be remembered for her chart-topping emotional ballads like Everybody's Somebody's Fool and Don't Break the Heart That Loves You. Her song, Pretty Little Baby, which was initially so obscure that Francis did not remember recording it, recently made an unexpected resurgence on TikTok, sealing her as an icon across many generations. I was actually surprised to hear that this was who sang that song, Pretty Little Baby. It's been all over my social media feeds, and it's a really gorgeous song. So she will be missed.
Absolutely.
Now let's see what's been going on this week in the music industry.
All right, music news. Stickmen announced.
All right, moving into some music news here.
Stickmen announced on their social media last night that they are postponing their remaining July shows until the end of the year. Bandmate Tony Levin had to sit out the last few recent shows due to a health issue, and one of their subs planned for the rest of the tour. Reeves Gabriel is also now dealing with health issues. The band said the well-being of the musicians comes first, and they thank the fans for their support.
Unfortunate, but of course, got to put your health first. So, rumors have been spiraling about a possible new album from prog rock icons King Crimson, but their manager has urged fans not to get too excited. According to Billboard, guitarist Jacko Jakshik said in an interview with Goldmine magazine, quote, "As we speak, we're doing a King Crimson studio album." He said that he doesn't know when or in what format the album will come out, but that they've been recording it piecemeal. News of this project's potential release comes as a surprise to fans, as the band had effectively come to an end after their 2021 tour. In a statement, their manager addressed the rumors, saying that as with any creative process, the final result is unknown. He said, quote, yes, recordings have taken place. We are building a new studio, and when it is complete, I am looking forward to seeing what may or may not exist. Getting excited about the possibility of a new album, as has been happening in some quarters, is, however, somewhat premature. Carts before horses. So I guess be on the lookout for more King Crimson news soon.
Yeah, I hope that happens. I saw their the original Beat tour in the '80s. So and that was, I think, the last album they did. We're talking about over 40 years ago. So it's amazing. Following the announcement of his exit from Pearl Jam last week, Matt Cameron has clarified that he has no intentions of fully retiring. Billboard reported that Cameron posted on his Instagram story saying, "Thank you for all the kind words of support, and for the record, I'm still an active musician." None of his statements to this point have clarified what his next step looks like, nor have they given reason for the exit from Pearl Jam. Cameron was part of Soundgarden before their initial dissolution in 1997, but he has played on various gigs over the years with former members, the most recent being in December. Pearl Jam has not yet announced who will replace Cameron on the drums. I'm really happy to hear that. He's an amazing drummer, and I saw him with Soundgarden, and I'm glad to hear that he's talking about continuing to play. That's great news.
Yeah, very exciting to see what new projects he comes out with in coming months and years.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, big news this week. A guitar that was stolen from the Rolling Stones over 50 years ago has resurfaced in a collection recently acquired by the New York Metropolitan Museum of Art, Billboard reports. The guitar, a 1959 Sunburst Gibson Les Paul Standard, was owned by former guitarist Mick Taylor, who had previously purchased it from Keith Richards in 1967. The instrument was played during the Rolling Stones' debut appearance on The Ed Sullivan Show in 1964. It went missing in September of 1971 when the band recorded Exile on Main Street in France. The theft reportedly occurred in broad daylight, conducted by Marseille drug dealers that Richards reportedly owed money to. 9 guitars, a saxophone belonging to Bobby Keys, and Bill Wyman's bass guitar all went missing during the theft. The Met announced that they had received a, quote, landmark gift of over 500 guitars made between 1920 and 1970, announcing that the collection included the long-lost Les Paul. Taylor's manager confirmed the guitar did belong to Taylor, as the flaming pattern on the guitar's body was an identifying feature. 50 years later, and they found it. That is actually incredible. Who knows how many hands it's passed through in the last 50 years.
Unbelievable. Stevie Wonder recently addressed a long-standing conspiracy theory that he's not actually blind at a concert in Cardiff, Wales. According to Billboard, Wonder's tireless work in the music industry and his ability to navigate the world has led to half-joking theories that he can actually see. For instance, in 2019, former NBA player Shaquille O'Neal shared an anecdote about Wonder recognizing him in the elevator. Comedian and actor Anthony Anderson shared that he challenged Wonder to a basketball game once, telling Stephen Colbert in 2016, "What y'all don't know is Stephen can see. It's just an act." Wonder addressed the crowd in Cardiff, sharing that he was wondering when to share this. He said, "Truth is, shortly after my birth, I became blind. Now, that was a blessing because it allowed me to see the world in a vision of truth and sight." Since 2008, Wonder has said he is working on a new project titled Through the Eyes of Wonder, performance piece about the experience as a blind man. Can't wait to hear that.
Yes, long time coming. I hope that that comes out soon, and that'll be a very fun project to hear. In other news, the Palm Tree Festival will launch a Napa Valley edition this fall, set to occur on October 11th. Billboard reports that headliners will include Kygo and the Chainsmokers, regulars to the event, Odd Mob, Vandalux, Mia Moretti, and Goshfather. The event will take place at the Meritage Resort and Spa and is being presented by Palm Tree Crew in partnership with Another Planet Entertainment and Blue Note Napa. The Palm Tree Crew was created by Kygo and his manager Miles Shear, designed to be a company for the nexus of a lifestyle brand, including events, resorts, restaurants, music, and more. The company has held other festivals in luxe locations like the Hamptons. They have an upcoming event in Saint-Tropez, France, featuring acts like A$AP Rocky, Swedish House Mafia, and others.
The main stage at Belgium's Dance Mega Festival, Tomorrowland, has been destroyed by fire ahead of the 2025 festival. Footage shares on Wednesday by a Belgian news network show the biggest gathering area enveloped in flames. According to Billboard, the festival had not yet started and attendees were not on site. Event crews were present, but a statement shared that no one was hurt during the incident. Festival campsite Dreamville will open on Thursday as planned, and activities in Brussels and Antwerp will also take place. The venue is currently working to find a solution for the festival weekend. Wow, that's really fortunate that nobody was there, but big festival catching fire. Yeah,
that is opening today. So I think they've figured out a makeshift way to make everything work, and I think they'll be using the other areas available to them to put on events and activities to keep everyone safe as well. This week, Saga frontman Michael Sadler made a statement this week regarding his cancer diagnosis. Brave Words reported that Sadler was diagnosed with muscle-invasive cancer and underwent surgery in September of last year. Another article by Parade reported that Sadler's cancer is, quote, incurable and untreatable, which he learned before boarding a cruise in April. In his statement, he shared that it has been a challenging time with his family, as his brother was diagnosed with leukemia around the time of his own diagnosis, and he shared the heartbreaking loss of his sister due to cancer earlier this month. Sadler is dedicated to completing his music projects and staying active in his work, sharing that he is, quote, currently stable and otherwise doing well. He is hopeful to share more good times with fans at events, though Saga has paused all live events for the time being. Quote, maybe we'll say hi to each other and take some selfies a few more times, Sadler said. I'm, really sad news. I'm really sad for his family as well. This is a very challenging time, but I think he'll look at it in a bright light, as brightly as possible, and make the most of it.
Absolutely. Wishing him all the best. Peter Gabriel and Tony Banks of Genesis were photographed in the studio together this week while collaborating on the 50th anniversary super deluxe edition of The Lamb Dies Down on Broadway. In their statement posted on Instagram, Gabriel said, "It was an interesting experience to be back again inside the world we built 50 years ago for The Lamb." Banks added, "Great to have a chance to work with my old friend and on something from our youth and relive some of the moments we had when recording these pieces. Still sounds fresh to me." Parade reported that fans shared their excitement online and some calling for the duo to get back in the studio for a new project, even just for fun. The box set, the release of which has been delayed several times already, is set to be available September 26th. Several months back, I got to see Peter Gabriel at Madison Square Garden. He said it was a farewell tour. Tony Levin was playing Mano Cache. One of my favorites. The first time I got to see him live, it was just so fresh and vibrant. I mean, the man's getting close to 80 years old. It was mind blowing. just as vital. So I have no doubt that this project is just as powerful. He hasn't lost an ounce of his mojo whatsoever. You know, the rest of his bandmates too. The same thing. It's just explosive. You know, unbelievable. You know, that to me, that's a real that's a real true artist. You know.
Yes, very exciting for fans to be on the lookout for that box set.
Mm-hmm.
All right. There have also been news reports speculating that Roger Waters, formerly of Pink Floyd, could be facing charges over a political matter. It is a heavy subject matter, so we're just going to post the link in the comments, and you can check that out or browse online to see what this is all about. And yeah, with that is the end of our music industry news this week. Don't forget to submit your videos to our 3 drumming challenges this month. Free members can submit up to 2 videos, while premium members can submit however many they want. The submission deadline is July 31st at 11:59 p.m. Pacific.
And join us for our music trivia game night on July 22nd at 6 p.m. Pacific time. The game of the majority rules has so many great prizes for winners to choose from. So RSVP on our website, www.drumtalktvbrilliance.com. That's www.drumtalktvbrilliance.com or on Facebook.
John,